as if it had turned her into more beast-like in nature. Hennessy Hero believes that Aya belongs least in the void, mainly because of this beast-like nature. Her physical appearance too, the way her hair is cut, it's less carnal, less attractive really. Highly subjective of course, don't hit me.
I left you with no choice, Spirit. Don't take offense. I can be deceitful. But as you can see, you're doomed. Everyone hates you. Everyone knows you're bringing death to the sleeper. That's your nature. That's the biology of spirit. To convert color and destroy voids. What's the void for you? Only a place from which to ascend. Drain it to the last drop and create a new one. Above.
It's very much an everyone hates you, don't even try and consider it to the contrary, may as well just take matters into your own hands type of speech there. But my mind can't wander from the sisters just yet, I'm only halfway through. The point I made about the attractiveness was actually brought up by Mystery Machine. As I suggested, and hopefully implied throughout the videos to some extent, beauty comes in all sorts of different forms, and the Void plays around with this, but because of its nature, trying to entice the player, it can't stray too far from the classic beauty formula, if you will, but Aya probably deviates as far from it as any of the sisters. Mystery Machine also enjoys the freedom that Aya represents, and in particular he brings up the fact that she urges you to give and also gives you the vampire glyph, which should allow you to take colour from other sisters. It can be considered exceptionally cruel, but also reasonable. If only one sister can be ascended, then if the others are sacrificed to that end, surely it's for the best. We, as a race, value freedom over most things. So however dubious it may seem to actually achieve it, it's a nice thing to have reflected. He also brings up the fact that she urges us to give, which is the closest she can get to true giving, being unable to do anything herself. White Fury also thought she was extremely selfless, mainly because of my description apparently. That is the part of her that I wanted to bring to the forefront, if I could. If everyone in the new world goes around helping each other, then it will be a true paradise. You'd have thought I would be the greatest conduit for world peace. There were a few people that were really behind the idea of honesty in Aya's case. Our Drin, starting out with a very pessimistic look at the purpose of our entire trial here, eventually decided that her honesty made her the best candidate, despite the accusations. Sacrificial Toast likes the idea that Aya's honesty gives her a very direct approach, probably because he had so much trouble with the endgame. The new world should be a place where people get crap done. You can put that on a billboard. Trick Question also liked Aya's straightforwardness. It stopped her from wasting our time with cryptic messages, which you have to admit happens a lot with many of the other sisters. Apparently Aya's also kind of a punk, which makes the other sisters damn fools. I believe he is an authority on this. I can't say the same of me. I've done my best to categorise all the votes and streamline it a bit so that I can actually get some sort of discourse going here. But someone like Mailman really touches on all of the points I've already specified. Aya is entirely selfless, concerned with only ascension to the next limit. She's the only one that shows the drive to maintain the void after it moves to the next limit. And she's also honest, not only with us, but with herself, which allows her to sift through all of the contradictory information and give us things straightforwardly. All in all, an impressive summary, but then again there are those that touch upon issues that aren't covered by anybody else. Bowser Overlord says, "You should take Aya because she is the most interesting character. I really like how she talks with you. And I'm a sucker for someone who has a go at putting words to their gut feeling." Now, here's why I didn't have this episode be a long lead up to the big reveal. I'm going to have to visit Ole several times in order to get her to open all 4 of her hearts. Each time you go, you will spend all the colour you've accumulated, the 2 colours that she accepts anyway. But you're also constantly stocking yourself up on the other colours, so it doesn't feel like you're resetting yourself each time.
don't understand you. But don't leave me, please. I need to see you all the time.
And here's where she tries to gnaw her way into our hearts. It's not your turn yet, Ole. I'll come to you eventually. And if repeatedly donating a full 300 droplets worth seems agonizingly tedious to you, that's just you suffering for the sake of art. Get over it. Giving just a small amount is incredibly easy and takes no time at all. But giving everything of yourself to someone takes a lot of effort on your part.
Good idea. But what do we do now? I haven't seen my dear godsend for so long. She's suffering. She calls to me all the time from up there. I tapped on the glass, waved to her, but she can't see me. She won't be able to give birth if you don't give her a soul for the new life. A soul filled with color. All the color the sleeper has. But does this mean you have to give her your life? If so, please, don't do it.
Ole has by far the most to say when you open her third heart out of all the sisters, and since I showed all of the openings off in a bonus video in order to help people decide, I'm sure it persuaded some people to back her side because it seems like she has an actual story to tell, and they want to see the conclusion. Again, I'll talk more about this later. Brilliant. Ole was arguably an excellent choice since it allows me to show this off. Since Ole's brother Pit is still alive, he'll now chase after us, constantly, making that tribal jump sound at every single junction. Of course, nothing will happen if you open the third heart of a sister whose brother you've already killed, and usually they have something to say, but it doesn't seem to trigger at this stage in the game. All it is infringement of taboos. It's part of their duty to kill you, blah blah blah. This is a really fun chamber to return to and pick clean. Just like the pangolin's chamber, colour only comes into it in the form of critters. The advantage of this room is that they're a lot easier to catch, since they all wallow around in the damp rather than trying to climb up this spiral, most of the time.